Hey there, gang. We're going to talk about new comic books in this video. We're not unboxing old books to sell. We are looking at new comics that I have purchased for my own collection. This is the weekly haul, so if you like comic books, stick around. We're going to have some fun. Hey there, Bubby. Welcome to Shanghai. My name is Duke, and this is a weekly haul video. So here we go. What did I get? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 books in my haul this week. And again, my local store is .com Comics in Freeport, Maine. And full disclosure, I do work for the company that owns that store. I don't work in the store itself, but I've got a connection. Let me know in the comments below. We'll make that the question for this video. Give your store a shout out, your LCS. Where do you get your comic books? And if they've got a website, I mean, every comic book store by now should have a website. Some of them still don't. But, if you've got a website for your local store, pop that in the comments as well. Let us know where you're getting your books and give your store a local shout out, rather you have any association with that store or you're just a customer. And let me know also in the comments below, what is kind of the market like? How far do you have to travel to get to your local comic book store? .com is about 90 minutes away from where I live, and it is the closest store to my home. And in the state of Maine, we've only got about half a dozen comic book stores statewide. There's 2 or 3 in Portland. I think there's one in Waterville. There's the one in Freeport. I think there's still one in Bangor. But just a half a dozen statewide. So, I mean, you got to really work to get a comic book here in Maine. What's it like where you live? Do you have 2 or 3 or more stores to choose from? Do you have one that's fairly close by? Or do you, like me, have to really make a haul? So please like, share, subscribe, comment, do all the groovy things. I forgot to do the beg on the last the toy box video, so go back and like that one too, please. So let's go ahead and look at this now. Bermuda. I don't know any of these creators, and I don't know what appealed to me, but when this was solicited in previews, I was just like, I'll try it. And it's the first IDW book that I have purchased in quite a while. Now, I have a problem here. This is actually last week's weekly haul. And these books were sitting here on the table. And they weren't stacked quite right. So now I've got to bend on all of these books. My books are not strictly mint. Well, it's okay. I read them. They're not going to CGC. And that'll straighten out once I do put it in a bag and board. Although I don't bag and board all of my books. I let them breathe. But anyway, here's a look inside a little bit. We've got a little bit of glare there from that light, but I think this is better than some recent videos. Now, the last weekly haul video I did, I had a fella get kind of pissed off at me in the comments that I didn't open any of the books. Well, I did. And when I pointed that out, he came back with, well, you didn't show enough of them. Well, you know what? I'm not going to, frankly. I do this to kind of share what I'm getting, invite you to comment below with what you're getting. Let's compare notes. If you've got a book you like and it came out this past week and you don't see it here, let me know why you like it. And I'll try and give it a shot. But maybe these are books you're not aware of and you can get them at your local store, or maybe they will appeal to you enough that you will seek them out somewhere, possibly from one of the other stores that hopefully you will see in the comments below as everybody, shouts out their LCS. But I'm not going to show you every page in the book. I just want to show you enough to give you an idea if that art is something that will appeal to you, but not so much, not because I'm afraid of copyright issues, because this is kind of a review video, so I should be covered under the fair use aspect of the Copyright Act. But I don't want you to see so much of it that you're like, well, I've read the book, I don't need to go out and get it now. But I do like this art style. Now, I think this is a 4-issue series, so I haven't read issue 1 yet. I am waiting to complete the whole thing, I'll read it in one sitting, which is not something I normally do, but in this case I will. But I really do like this art style. It looks very, very kind of Tom Grummett to me. But it is actually Nick Bradshaw, and the writer is John Layman. But that's a nice looking book. I'm looking forward to reading that. Our Firefly brand new verse, I'm on the verge of dropping this just because it's like the main Firefly title. It is so decompressed that you really don't get a lot. Now this one is a little better than the main title, but it takes a lot for anything to happen. And this one picks up after the events of the Serenity movie, sometime after, in fact, because Wash and Zoe's child is grown. But I'm kind of on the verge of dropping this one too, even though I love Firefly. Now, I did drop the main title for two reasons. One is that it was so decompressed that like nothing happens in any one issue, that it's just not worth $4. The other reason is the main Firefly book from Boom Studios is written by Greg Pak, and I found out that he's got me blocked on social media. I don't know why. I'm not aware that I've ever really interacted with Greg Pak. So maybe I got caught in a block bot or something. I don't know. Maybe I said something that offended him. But my rule of thumb is that if I don't exist to the comic book creator, then neither does my money. So I don't buy anything that Greg Pak does, just because he's got me blocked there. You know, it's not like, you know, I could understand if I got into it with him and we nearly came to blows, you know, rhetorically speaking. You know, you're not going to hook horns with everybody. But I'm not aware I've ever interacted with Greg Pak. So he probably just saw my name somewhere that he thinks I'm part of Comicsgate or something, which I'm not. So I don't know. Now, this book I got because it is written by Roger Stern and drawn by Ron Frenz. So this is going to have, I'm hoping, a real Bronze Age feel to it. It's the Heroes Union. It's from an outfit called Binge Books that I've never heard of before. It even has an approved by the Comics Code Authority seal, even though the Comics Code Authority doesn't exist anymore. You got the old corner box. It's looking kind of Bronze Age. It is a prestige format, square bound, on high quality paper, which, I mean, you know my theory. I prefer, newsprint, regular format. But here's a little bit of what's going on in there. And so I bought it because it's Roger Stern, it's Ron Frenz, and I'm hopeful that this is going to feel a lot more like the kind of comics that I grew up with than a lot of the current stuff. Which is not that I really necessarily need something that's that retro. I just want a complete story in an issue, or at least enough that happens that feels like I've got my money's worth, that I've had a complete reading experience, even if the main story continues. And so I'm hoping that'll be the case. This was a $5 book, but it is a larger book, so that exists if you're interested. Oni Press, Jonna and the Unpossible Monsters, and this has been a fun little title. Now, this is sort of the exception to the rule. This one, very much like a Chris Samney book. The art reads very quickly because it's deceptively simple, and there's a lot of textless pages. Like you could flip through those 4 pages I just showed you in about 10 seconds. But it's just very charming and fun. And you could linger over the artwork a little bit. You may not, just because, again, it's deceptively simple. Which drawing in this kind of so-called cartoony style can actually be sometimes harder than trying to do like a very detailed 90s image, 30,000 extraneous unnecessary lines kind of thing. So this also feels very much like If you were familiar with, what was the name of it? Oh, Leave It to Chance. If you remember that book. Feels a lot like that, only kind of a little barbarian version. So anyway, that's been a cute little book. I don't know that it is necessarily worth $4 an issue because it does read so quickly, but taken on the whole, it's pretty neat. This is something that I have enjoyed. This is from AWA, Artists and Writers Alliance, and this is Marjorie Finnegan, Temporal Criminal. It's a Garth Ennis book, and sometimes I don't really love Garth Ennis, but I have enjoyed this quite a bit. Here's a little bit of what's going on inside. And, Marjorie Finnegan, Temporal Criminal, that book is just about exactly what the title promises. And so it has been fun. She's skipping across time, stealing things and kicking butt and taking names. Wow. That's like an extended shower scene. That's fun. So there you go. It's the only Marvel book I got this week is The Marvels by Kurt Busiek, or Busiek. I don't really know how to say it. And Yildiray Sinar. I also don't know how to say that either. Correct me in the comments section if you know how it goes. But it's a nice looking book, and it's sort of a Marvel's event book, but confined to one title, which is nice, rather than going across 7,000 titles. So that's a thing. Radiant Black, I had actually dropped this. The first story arc was 6 issues. And so the 7th issue came out, and I had not pre-ordered it, but I haven't got around to reading those first 6 issues because I was going to, again, although this isn't normally what I do, because I've got so far in my reading, I just sort of fell into it that I'm like, well, I'll wait till the arc is complete and read it all in one sitting. Well, I haven't read it yet. So I'm like, well, maybe I don't want to drop that book just yet because maybe it's the greatest book ever. I don't know. But there it is. There's a little bit of the inside for you. Now there's some decompression. There's 2 pages that could have been just as effective as a large panel on one page, frankly. But there you go. There you go. That's that. Scooby-Doo. This was an impulse buy, almost kind of like Radiant Black. Although Radiant Black, I lingered over and had other reasons. This one, I don't normally buy Scooby-Doo except as an impulse buy if I've got a week that's kind of small, not a lot of things came in for my pull list, I will grab a Scooby-Doo off the shelf. And I do get the Batman Scooby-Doo team-up book, but I don't normally buy the regular Scooby-Doo except as kind of an impulse. And this one, I picked it up and I flipped through it, and I was kind of back and forth because, 9, 10 books, that's a pretty healthy week, at $4 a pop per book. But then I saw that it's set at a race, and it's kind of like a NASCAR race because look, the name here is Dale Hart. Well, that's obviously Dale Earnhardt. And so I was like, well, that seals the deal. I gotta get that. So there you go. And cereal, now this has got some moisture wrinkling here. I guess it's been humid the past few days. I'll have to, maybe that'll press out. I don't know. But I haven't read this just because I missed issue 2. Diamond screwed up and never got us our issue 2. And so I've been trying to get it, and the store's been trying to do a reorder, trying, getting little to no response from Diamond. And they say Diamond is grown by 20% with new accounts, even though they've lost. They've lost DC, and they're going to be losing Marvel. I don't know on what basis they're growing, because they still, I don't want to put too fine a point on this, but they suck balls. So anyway, your store, if you're gonna leave a comment, if you're gonna follow through and leave a comment below with the name and URL of your local store, let me know also if they've got a copy of serial number 2. I need to find one because, again, Diamond just shanked. Didn't send us ours, and it wasn't like it came in damaged. We get a lot of damaged stuff we have to send back, and sometimes don't get those books replaced. Serial number 2 just never showed up, and we've been trying to put in reorder, not getting it. I think at this point, now that we're on number 6, it's just not going to happen. I'm going to have to find that number 2 somewhere else. But this is from the creator of Strangers in Paradise, so if you are familiar with that, then you know right away whether or not you like this book. It is black and white. And so yeah, I gotta find me a number 2 somewhere. So let me know in the comments below if your store has a number 2. Because I needs it. I needs it. Wicked bad there, Bubby. But that's it. Those are the books I got this past week. What do you think? Anything there that you didn't get that maybe now you think maybe it appeals to you? Or is there anything that you did get that I passed on that you want to make an argument for in the comments below? But other than that, let's just grab Spock here, dress uniform Spock, so he can help me say, until the next video, goodbye, good luck, and please be good to each other.